You are listening to Mind Over Me, the mental wellness podcast with me, Scott Carter. I am a licensed therapist and someone who is very mindful and aware of the decline in our collective. I created this podcast so that we could have more direct and honest about difficult topics, and it's my goal to have honest but direct conversations that we need to have. It's also my goal to give my listeners the information that they need in order to find their own mental health. And this is where you will find the information that you need to be your. And of course, all of this is based on years of clinical experience. Thank you for being here. And welcome to the next installment of Mind Over Me. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. This is the last episode that I am recording here in 2025. And somewhat ceremoniously, I'm going to kind of look back on 2025 just a bit. I try not to look too much behind me. Neither should you. Unless you're learning. You should learn from your past. You should learn from your mistakes. But I think it's a lot more important to look forward. Keep your eyes forward. So I'm going to talk about this episode. I'm going to talk about some mental health habits. Let me count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six mental health habits that you should adopt in the coming new year, 2026, in order to have better mental health this year. Keep in mind, too, that my content generally tends to be off the beaten path. It's like this year, for me, I became even more aware of how generally ineffective therapy is, or how ineffective that it's become. So my podcast, if you're new here, is all about doing what I can to provide better information, correct information about having better and improved mental health. So me personally, I've been a little bit, traditional, maybe ceremonious when it comes to the new year. Not that I think that New Year's hold any significance. I mean, for the most part, it's just another day, right? But, there is an actual holiday to kind of mark what we can think of as a new beginning, as a new opportunity for change and improvement and reflection. I personally recommend adopting reflection as a steady, even daily practice. It does not take very long at all to check in with yourself, to take a quick inventory. How am I doing? How am I feeling? What am I overlooking? What am I missing? What am I ignoring that I shouldn't ignore, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just, taking some time to self-reflect and building your insight, extremely valuable, worthwhile thing to do. So maybe take just a moment and reflect on your 2025. How was your 2025? Huh? Yeah, were you broke? Maybe you can afford therapy, like a lot of people can't. And then they go, sometimes they're like, oh, finally I can afford it. Now I have insurance or whatever. And then they go and they're just horribly disappointed. Honestly, my year was a total blur. When I look back on this year, it was just a total blur. But I feel like the last quarter, the last 3 months especially, maybe the last 4 months, started to go better for me. I've probably mentioned this before, but I get seasonal depression in the summer. I know most people think that's weird. I'm not alone. I promise you that there are a lot of people out there like this. I've made TikTok videos on it. And I had a lot of people chime in like, "Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, yep, I get seasonal depression in the summer." My 2025 seasonal depression absolutely kicked my ass this year. It was brutal. It was very, very, it absolutely kicked my ass. I've talked to some people, including some clients, that will try and have a sort of a theme for the year, like a word of the year. Like someone told me that their theme or their word of the year was balance, right? And I didn't go into 2025 with anything like that in mind. But here's what I ended up with, and I've talked about this here before, is discipline. Currently, I am in the middle of learning how to just show up every day, or at least as consistently as I can, very consistently, to work on certain things or to dedicate myself to certain goals. And so that is what I'm currently working on, is just learning to show up every day. And for my upcoming 2026, I actually have a lot of goals. And I'm going into 2026, frankly, with a fair amount of optimism. I've gotten a lot better at just showing up for myself, and I'm making excellent progress towards some of my goals. Frankly, it feels good to feel like I have like I have more power over my destiny, over my path, where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. I think far too many people are outsourcing that these days. Man, I hear this from young people too, where they feel like their life is out of control, like they have absolutely no ability to influence how it's going to turn out. And it's unfortunate that they see things that way. I think that is part of this huge, giant conglomeration of mental health crisis that we're going through. I saw a TikTok video this morning of this guy saying, we don't have a mental health crisis, we have a maturity crisis, which is people aren't growing up. And I think there's some truth to that. I already did an episode on, do we have a mental health crisis, or are people just not growing up, or maybe they're just the same thing and being called by two different names. As I look forward to my 2026, I'm reluctant to share some of my goals. I'm going to be vague, but I'm going to do it anyways, because I'm going to allow myself to be just a tad vulnerable, a tad open and vulnerable about some of this. Goal number 1 is to get back on a very serious diet. I've been prepping for it. I've been gearing up for it for the last month. Just kind of getting the things that I need, getting my head in the game, writing down the why. Why am I doing this? What is the purpose behind it? Why am I doing it? And of course, reminding myself that A, discipline. I want to practice discipline, and B, it's important to do hard things. I talk about this all the time. It's my sign off on all my podcast episodes, that you must do hard things. So this new diet is going to be a you must do hard things situation. Many years ago, I had a very, very demanding and stressful job. I was at a treatment facility. I was a therapist at a treatment facility. And my caseload, well, everybody's caseload, it wasn't just mine. Every therapist caseload in that building was way too high. There's just way, way, way more work that could possibly be done. It was just a mad scramble every single day to get stuff done. After working there for 18 months, my health spiraled down, like almost completely out of control in a negative way. Most notably, I developed a significant vitamin D deficiency, and things have been really challenging for me ever since then. It's just kind of been one thing after another. So getting my health to a good place where I want it to be is always just a huge, huge challenge. And so this new diet that I have planned, I believe, should help with a lot of those issues. Another thing that I have planned for 2026, to finish a book that I'm writing. I'm making excellent progress. I've always, always, always wanted to be an author. I've always wanted to be a published author. The book that I'm writing, I'm not going to talk about it much right now, what it's about or what the topic is. That will probably happen down the line, because I've been making very good progress, and I hope to be done, at least with the initial draft, within the next 90 days. I'm hoping will be my goal. Show up and work on it every day, or at least consistently. To be able to land, I know it's kind of lofty, but my goal is to land a publisher, to get a publishing deal. I actually believe that the book is an excellent book. I think it's very timely. I think a lot of people will find it very important, very interesting, very compelling. Finally, my last goal for 2026, we're kind of aiming kind of high this upcoming year, but I feel really optimistic. My goal is to start a new type of business. I've developed a certain type of skill set over the years, and I believe it can be applied in a different setting, in different settings, and can be useful in certain settings. Again, I'm being vague, but my other goal this year is to start a new business and be successful in it, and find clients and start rolling in some clients with this new business. All of which are works in progress, require me to show up, At the same time, I'm creating content, writing articles, doing podcasts, making TikTok videos, etc., etc., etc. So that's what's going on with me. That's my projection for the year to come. My hopes, my dreams, my goals for the year to come, and my discipline is improving, which I'm really, really excited for, which I'm really, really happy about. It's very satisfying. And just being able to show up every day on these goals has just been amazing for me. I did want to mention one thing, one more thing before I dive into my list here. The 6 things that I would recommend as a therapist that you do to improve your mental health in 2026. That's our topic. I mentioned in my previous episode that I decided to sit down and do an anxiety course, a course on anxiety. I'd started one before, like earlier this year, and when I got like 80% through it, I was like, this is not the course that I wanted. This is not turning out how I thought it would, and I just sort of abandoned the project, partially because of the discipline issue. But then I got a little bit more organized this time, and I thought to myself, let's break it down into chunks. Let's get a little bit more organized. So I created an outline, and anyways, I've been building an anxiety course that includes several different therapy techniques, therapy approaches, as well as some of my own methods, things that have worked for me and other things that have worked for my clients. I finished the slides last night. It's long. It's got 8 parts. It's long. It's very robust. Very comprehensive. 8 parts. I already said that. 150 slides in total. And slides are done. I got the slides done last night. I don't know. It took me 3 weeks. 3 weeks to do those slides. I'm going to start recording videos this week. Probably not tomorrow, but the next day. I'm going to start kind of recording the videos for those. Once it's published, it'll be available on my website, which I will advertise and promote. I'll make a whole separate episode about anxiety. Anxiety can be cured. You have been told wrong. Here's the deal with our mental health system. Our mental health system is designed for you to be dependent upon it. A lot of people are aware of this, which is why they don't trust it. I, frankly, don't blame them. Or I don't blame you if you feel this way about the mental health system. You're not wrong. I have many gripes with therapy and therapists and the mental health system. It's no secret that one of my long-term goals would be possibly to give up my therapy license and just be a coach. There are therapists that do talk about doing this. I think there are a lot of me out there that are just like, yeah, I don't really want to be part of this profession anymore. It's just lost its way. It's gone down roads that I just refuse to follow. ADHD, I need to do an episode on ADHD. I think ADHD is kind of a joke, especially in kids. Like when has a society ever expected children to sit still for 8 hours a day and expected that to be normal? And then when they don't, we call them a problem and then we give them drugs. I mean, come on. But anyways, back to my anxiety course. I hope to have that. I don't know when I'm going to have the videos done. I would like to say soon, but there's just going to be a lot of videos. There's a lot of individual sections, lots of skills, lots of tools, lots of things to practice. Living without anxiety, it's a lifestyle, okay? It's not something that you learn to manage or learn to live with. You can learn to live without anxiety. Again, I am living, breathing proof of that. I used to have a horrible anxiety disorder when I was young, in my 20s, early 30s especially. I don't have anxiety anymore. It's just gone. So, because I know it can be done, because I've done it myself, because I help myself, because I help other people with it, I'm creating a course. I believe it's a very high quality anxiety course. Anyways, stay tuned for that. Just stay tuned for that if you're anxious, which you probably are. Most of us are these days. It's not just you. So I will look forward to announcing that and doing a whole separate episode on Yes, You Can Cure Anxiety. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, 6 things I, as a therapist, a rogue therapist of sorts, if you will, an anarchist therapist, 6 things I recommend you do next year to improve your mental health. Number 1, this one is number 1 on purpose. Without this one, the other ones become very, very difficult. You have to have this one in place. Number one, take responsibility for your life. We live in a culture of victim mentality and blame, and it's not my fault, and it's too hard, and all of that. And won't somebody else do it? And wow, you're lucky. Luck has nothing to do with it. Take responsibility for your life. Your mental health is your job, nobody else's. Stop outsourcing your mental health. Take it into your own hands. If I were to break that down into individual steps of taking your own mental health into your own hands, number one, get to know yourself. Get to know your mental illness. Know it well. Know it through and through. Rather than avoiding it, rather than avoid looking at yourself or getting to know yourself or trying to understand yourself better, get busy understanding your mind, how you're wired, why you're wired that way, what makes you you, what has shaped you, why are you the way that you are. Get to know yourself extremely. And number two, right, when it comes to taking your mental health into your own hands, you have to take responsibility. And that means that this is my job. Okay? There's nothing more important in your life, whether you realize it or not, than your own well-being, your own mental health. I tend to look at society this way, like with your personal body, with your body, if the cells of your body are generally unhealthy and struggling and not in good health, your whole body is just going to break down. Okay. We are like that with society. We are the individuals that make up the whole of society. If everybody within that body of society is not well, then obviously things are going to break down. We have an individual responsibility to just be, we just have a responsibility to be in good shape. We just do. It's our job. This isn't about blame. This isn't about pointing fingers and shame on you and feeling bad about yourself. It's just saying, hey, that's my job. It's my job and nobody else's to get a good handle on this area of my life. So again, without that one in place, these other ones are not going to work nearly as well. Number two, okay, this is an important one to me. Embrace struggles and do hard things. Okay, you live in a society that runs to the easy things, that wants everything to be easy, that sees easy as good, that if it's easy, it's good, and if it's hard, it's bad. Struggles make you strong. Struggles make you resilient. Struggles help you grow. Struggles help you learn. And I'm going to say it again. Struggles make you strong. When you do hard things and you get out of your comfort zone, you find yourself. You both find yourself and you make yourself. You improve your identity by improving your strength, by building your virtues. The best people on this planet are the people who take on hard things, that do hard things and get through them. Okay, there's a difference between people who are just suffering. That's not what I'm talking about. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, one of the things that comes to mind is a guy that I've seen on TikTok who he's been incarcerated, he's had drug problems, and now he's a pretty stand-up dude. He's worked through his issues, and now he seems like a really solid, super cool, good dude. And it just seems like he just wants to do the right thing now because he's just overcome things. He's become resilient. So again, you live in a society where it's like, oh, just do what's easy. And with young people these days, I mean, more than anything, I just hear them say, oh, but that's hard though. And it's like, I know it's hard. You're supposed to do hard things. You must do hard things. And like with every young person that says that, like, oh, but that's hard though. I go, well, haven't you always tried to do what's easy? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, how's that working out? How are you doing? How's life going? And they're like, not great. It's like, well, there's a correlation here. There are so many false and wrong messages that you're going to get from society about things being easy or feeling good all the time. That's not the key. Even a lot of therapists are pushing these messages of like, oh, it's not okay. You know, we just want to feel good all the time, and bad emotions are bad, and you don't want them. No, you do. They're important. Which leads me to my next point, number 3. I've already done a separate podcast episode on this, so go check it out. Face your pain. Okay, rather than running from emotions, rather than hiding emotions and numbing them, etc., trying to get rid of them, face your emotions. Okay, understand that they're there for a good reason. Just because you might feel confused or lost doesn't mean that those emotions aren't there for a really good reason. Okay, so the path to good mental health is the difficult one. The road to heaven feels like hell. The road to hell feels like heaven. Okay, right? Like, if you want to get in shape, you got to do the hard work. The end result feels amazing. It's the same principle here. Okay, you got to dedicate yourself to it, and the end result is amazing. Okay, number 4. Did an episode on this too. In fact, it was the episode previous to this one. Improve your relationship with yourself. As I've said many times, you cannot have good mental health as long as you have a bad relationship with yourself. Okay, fix your relationship that you have with yourself. As usual here, I feel like I have to confront some serious misconceptions that are floating around in culture because there's a lot of immaturity, maybe even a lot of narcissism going around. You're going to hear a lot of messages these days that, in order to like yourself, in order to love yourself, in order to improve have a good relationship with yourself, you have to be powerful, and you have to take whatever you want and get whatever you want, and don't worry about what it may cost other people. If you hurt other people, you will hurt yourself in the process, guaranteed. It will harm your integrity. Okay, you can't have a good relationship with yourself if you lack integrity. If you're being cruel to others because you think that let's clear up this misconception here. This is what I'm trying to put my finger on. Okay, you ready? Having a good relationship with yourself does not mean just getting whatever you want at any cost. That is a selfish, immature, and even narcissistic way of going about life. Anyways, but the previous episode, I talked in more detail about having a better relationship with yourself and improving your relationship with yourself. So go check that out. Number 5 on this list. This is going to be hard for a lot of people. Promise you it'll make a difference. Promise you it'll make a huge difference. Get off social media. Look, the writing is absolutely on the wall when it comes to social media. It's shaping you in ways that you probably don't like. It's probably consuming too much of your life. It's probably giving you a jaded, slanted, and skewed perspective on life, the world, and especially other people. I would venture to say that the more time that you spend on social media, the more of a negative view you're going to have about other human beings. You're just going to see them in a bad and negative light. You're going to hate them. You're going to dislike them. You're going to see them as evil and nefarious and bad, and you're going to lose your faith in humanity. Social media sells the worst possible things. That's how they capture your attention. You wouldn't pay attention if you were just filled with inspiration all day. So maybe to be more specific on this point as well, right? Get off social media, but also stop doom scrolling. Like, I realize that at the end of the day, it's just easy, it's effortless to just doom scroll through your phone. That's a very isolating thing to do. It causes anxiety. It causes depression. It causes a lot of negativity. It shapes your mind, whether you agree that it does or not, whether you realize it or not, or whether you want to acknowledge it. You could just try an experiment, right? Your own behavior experiment where you get off social media, you delete it off your phone for 2 weeks, and at the end of the 2 weeks, just see how you feel. See what's different. Aside from social media too, like, don't watch the news. Like, me personally, I don't watch the news. I refuse to watch the news. I haven't watched the news in years, several years. I basically turn on the TV to watch basketball, or maybe if I'm sick, I'll watch a movie. But I just watch, I've always been a basketball fan. So really, I only turn on the TV to watch basketball. But seriously, if you want to feel better, if you want to have a better relationship with yourself, right? Because social media usually leads to self-criticism, bad negative judgments towards ourselves, low self-esteem, things like that. We tend to compare ourselves to others. I don't think people are truly aware of what a negative impact social media and technology can have on their individual lives. Delete it off your phone. Just like do it. Do it for a month. See how it goes. See how you feel. See what you get out of it. I really believe that we're at the stage where we're gonna have to do something radically different if we want radically better lives. Okay, so delete social media. Yeah, get off of it. Just get off social media. Find something better to do with your time. You might be thinking, oh, what do I do with myself? Well, that leads us to number 6, which is for 2026. Here's my challenge to you: be a creator slash contributor instead of just a consumer. Either share your talents, share what you're good at, get creative with something, or just get good at something. Like maybe share your journey. If you're going to be on social media, then contribute like in a positive or meaningful way. Emphasis on positive and meaningful. I know I just gave this big ass long speech about getting rid of social media. Seriously, maybe I need to amend that just a little bit and just say stay off social media unless you're actively contributing in a meaningful way. That doesn't mean judging people harshly. That doesn't mean trolling people, making fun of people, going after people, having fierce disagreements with them. That's not contributing. That's not creating. But I know that there's a guy on social media where I think his handle is Higher Up Wellness. And he challenged people. He challenged young people, like, record a 60-second video every day on TikTok and post it every single day. Just record yourself talking and post it every single day. And I've seen several young people do this challenge, and like their content may not necessarily be good, but they're facing their fears. They're doing something that's hard to them. And they're doing what they can to contribute in a meaningful way, and it's helping them grow. And I'm absolutely all for that. I mean, if humor is your thing, or maybe drawing is your thing, or maybe you love books, right? Share the books that you love. Do book reviews. I don't know. Share the things that you draw, create. I know the very thought of that would make a lot of people anxious. Immediately, right off the bat, like, no, that makes me anxious. Like, which is exactly why you should do it. People are going to think things about me. Yep, I know. They might. It doesn't matter. It can't hurt you. But yeah, be a creator and a contributor rather than just a consumer is my last tip, mental health tip for 2026. Now, normally after every episode, I like to do shadow work journal prompts. I think we're going to simplify it. We're going to keep it easy today. We're going to keep it easy for this episode. Really, maybe sit down and reflect. You can do it in a journal. It always helps to write things down. But sit down and just think about 2025. How did it go? Did it go better than you thought? Worse than you thought? What did you learn? What could you do different? What mistakes did you make that you learned from? Like, reflect on it. What could you take more control over in your life, aside from other people? Don't control other people. Resist the urge. Resist the urge, man, to control other people. Stop it. Stop doing that. Okay, and then after you do that, go ahead and look at the year ahead of you, right? And just sort of based on what I gave to you in this episode, stop and reflect on, like, what do you want to be different next year? What goals might you have for next year? How do you want to improve yourself for next year? But especially, too, maybe how can you create or contribute in a meaningful way next year? Challenge yourself to do hard things, and then when you execute the hard things, I promise you, you're going to feel so much better about yourself. You're going to like yourself so much more. This is how you earn this thing called self-respect. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Tell all your friends. Happy New Year. If you're listening to this late, whatever. I hope you're well. Hope things are going better for you right now. Hope you're finding your way through it. I know it's hard. Hang in there. I believe in you. Signing off until next year. Talk to you next year. This, once again, has been Mind Over Me. Remember, always, that you must do hard things.